Hello everyone. Hope we're keeping well today. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining today on Market Faith. Please go ahead, invite your friends, invite your colleagues. We're going to start like we always do in about 2 minutes, all right? So let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and invite your friends. All right, let's go ahead and invite our friends, all right? Get on your Instagram, get on your Facebook, get on your YouTube. If you're watching this live on YouTube, and if it's your first time, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and like this video. It's going to be great today. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining. All right. So go ahead and invite your friends. Thank you so much for joining today. Thank you so much for joining. If you're joining us live on Instagram, let us know where you're joining us from. Thank you so much for joining me today on Market Faith. All right, let's go ahead and invite our friends. We're going to dive into this very, very quickly. It's going to be good this evening. It's going to be really good. All right. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today on Market Faith. I'm absolutely delighted that you are joining me today. Such a joy and such a pleasure to just bring you amazing teachings that will help you in your business, that will help you grow and scale. If you're joining Market Faith for the first time today, this wonderful evening or morning or afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are, anywhere you are, just hit the like button on Instagram. Let us know that you're there. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Say hello in the comment section below. If you're wherever you're watching this from, let us know where you are watching from. We always love hearing about where you're watching from and knowing the kind of impact that Market Faith is making on you and on your business. So once again, thank you so much, all right, for being here. If you don't know, Market Faith is a community. Market Faith is a community, an online community of people of faith that are in the marketplace. What we really do is that we focus on teachings and empowerment initiatives that help members of our community grow and scale their businesses in everything that they are doing. So it's going to be great this evening and today and over the next couple of weeks. I want to talk about how to reverse the trend of a struggling business. All right. One of the things I've realized is that many businesses are actually struggling. Many businesses are trying to make things work, and things are not working the way they really would love for that to happen. And so we want to talk today and over the next couple of weeks, because it's really going to take quite a bit of time, how you can reverse the trend in a struggling business. Okay, I'm going to share some things with you that probably you haven't heard of before. I'm going to share some things that again stem from some of my own experiences running several businesses over the last couple of years, and really dig deep into what we can do to help your business grow, to help your business thrive in whatever environment that it is. All right. Now, I know that because of the recession, because a lot of businesses have been hit by COVID, All right, business models have been disrupted. Some of the businesses are no longer doing what they need to do. Businesses are folding up, businesses are dying, etc. If you are in a struggling business, today is for you. So I want to invite you, first and foremost, before we get deep into this, that you want to make sure that you are here today and over the next couple of weeks, because it's going to take me a few weeks to unpack all the things that I have to share with you so that we can sustainably reverse the trend in a struggling business. Okay, if you know anyone whose business is struggling, I want to encourage you to go ahead and tag them on Instagram, tag them wherever you are. Just go ahead and tag them, let them know that they need to join in here. And if they're not joining in online, let them know that the videos will be available on our YouTube channel and they can go on there and watch this video. So how do you reverse this trend in a struggling business? Now, before we dive into this in very significant detail, all right, I think it's important to lay some powerful foundation for us and for our businesses. Absolutely critical. Okay, the first set of things that I'm going to be sharing with you, I'm going to be covering today, is just to lay the foundation for some of the things that we're going to be talking about in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so it's very important foundation. The first thing I want to say is that a struggling business and a dying business are two different, completely different things. There is a difference between a struggling business and a dying business. All right, a struggling business is going through a bad patch. A dying business is going down. Right? A struggling business means that there is potential for recovery. Means that the market is still growing, but that particular business is just struggling. A dying business, on the other hand, means that even the market is shrinking, meaning that if the business continues to exist, the business will eventually die. I'll give you an example. If you are in the typewriting business, when computers have come into the world, right, you are in a dying business. Okay, so there's no point trying to resuscitate and make that type of business survive, because the trajectory of the business is such that it is dying. If you are in a business where the market share, or rather the market size, is not growing and the market is rather shrinking, then the chances are that you are in a dying business. And you need to understand what it takes to pivot and change that particular business model. In that kind of situation, you are not really trying to revive a struggling business. You are trying to start another business altogether. So you must understand the difference and you must understand what you're doing. Because what I'm about to share with you is within the context of a business that still has hope of survival, but right now is not doing as well as it should be doing. That's what I'm trying to talk to you about today and over the next couple of weeks. And it's important that you understand this and that you understand this distinction. All right, there is a difference between a business that is struggling, right, and a business that is dying. A business that is struggling has hope of survival. It's like when you have a tree and the tree is planted in the ground, planted in the soil. Even if the tree is cut, right, and if you're a person of faith, you understand the Bible says that there is hope for a tree. If it be cut down, that the tender branches will grow again. Why? Because the tree has not been uprooted. The tree is still in the ground, meaning that the capacity to grow is still within the tree. The only issue right now is that right now the tree has been cut, but the branch, the root has not yet been uprooted. All right, the root has not yet been removed. It is not yet dry, and the root does not, still has hope for it to grow, right? However, if you are in a business where the root has been removed completely and the business is literally just going to die, you are working with a tree that has been cut and is now a cane, meaning that even when you put it in water, some of the chemicals and things that have gone into that particular wood, right, means that kind of business cannot really survive anymore. All right, so you must understand that, and I'm emphasizing this and taking my time because some of the things we're going to be sharing, you must be able to see the things that are important. The next thing is this. That you need to understand is that a struggling business needs a turnaround, or the conditions for which a struggling business needs a turnaround. This is very vital. This is very important. The first thing we've done is establish the difference between a struggling business and a dying business. Most often than not, in a dying business, you may just need to let the business die and then pivot into something else. What I've just said is something that many people will not say. And for many people, they don't even want to hear this, that this business needs to die. And one of the things you will see as we go along is that some businesses need to die. You just need to kill it, because the nature of those businesses is such that you are better off standing on the junction of your road, of your house, and dashing people money than doing those businesses. I'll say that again. It's better for you to stand on the junction of your road and be dashing people money than doing certain types of businesses. Why should you be stressing yourself only to lose money when you can lose money in a better way? It's very easy to lose money. Stand on the corner of the road and hand out cash. However, if you say you want to do business and you want to lose money at the same time, that is what I call double jeopardy. You are suffering in two places. You are suffering in the business and you are also losing money. There's no point doing that. So, this, what I'm saying to you, is very important, and it's important that you don't get overly emotional about the things that I'm saying. Look at things practically and factually, and let's understand what we can do to grow the business if there is hope for that business to survive. All right? So that's the first thing. A struggling business and a dying business are two different things. Now, if you are in a struggling business needs a turnaround. A struggling business can be turned around. It might require a lot of work, but there is possibility to turn it around. How do you know if a business needs a turnaround? Number one, there is a consistent decline, and it's not just one-off. In other words, if things are declining, but things are not declining, have not been declining on a consistent basis, it's just a one-off blip. It is just something that happened maybe in the market and things just happen once, right? That's a blip. That's not necessarily a decline. And you are not necessarily in a state where you need a turnaround. And the reason I'm emphasizing this is because the mindset of someone trying to turn around a business is different from the mindset of somebody that is managing a business and trying to cruise in that particular business, or someone that is just focused on aggressive growth. There are two different mindsets. And when we get into this starting from next week, you begin to see some of the things that we're talking about, all right? So there is consistent decline. It's not just one-off. Those are characteristics of a struggling business, right? Meaning that in the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months, things have just been going down, all right? Or there is one catastrophic event that has happened and things have not been able to recover. So for example, a lot of people lost their businesses during the COVID crisis. That particular crisis has put their business in a state that it either needs a turnaround or it needs to die. It depends on the issues, it depends on the circumstances that are surrounding that particular business. So a struggling business needs a turnaround when there is consistent decline. It's not just one-off. A struggling business needs a turnaround when growth is slow over time and the market is growing. In other words, right, the market for electricity in a third world country is probably going to be growing. But if you are operating in that environment and your business is declining or slowing down, chances are that you need a turnaround. For example, in the country where I come from, in Nigeria, right, we have significant power deficit, significant gaps in the power sector. If you are in that sector, right, and you are providing power solutions, but your business is going down when it should be going up, you need a turnaround. Something is wrong somewhere that needs to be changed. Something is wrong somewhere that needs to be tweaked so that that business can grow, so that that business can survive, and so that that business can thrive again, okay? So it's very, very important. And again, the reason why is because the mindset that you have when you're trying to turn around a struggling business is different from the mindset that you will have if you are coasting or if you are maybe just trying to grow. And again, from next week, when we begin to dive into this, in terms of talking about the very first thing you need to do when your business is struggling, right? In terms of action steps you need to take, we will look at this in greater detail. Now, let me say this to you and we'll close this for this week, right? Every successful business turnaround needs 3 things. Every successful business turnaround needs 3 critical and important things. Number 1, it needs a very good management team and a very focused management team. a very good and a very focused management team. Number two, it needs money. In any business that needs turnaround needs money. Now, I'm going to share with you, because in some cases you need to get the money from outside. In some cases you can get the money from within the business. We'll talk about that next week. All right. The third thing that you need is time. So 3 things every struggling business needs. Number one, a great management team that is very good and they are focused, very focused. They will not be distracted. Number two, you need money, all right? Because money is the fuel that, for the engine of growth in your business. Very, very critical. It is not negotiable. I will talk a bit more about that. Number 3, you need time. Now, if you look at the 3 things that I've just mentioned very critically, you will observe something there, which is the fact that the 3 things that I have mentioned are the 3 things a struggling business does not have. All right? 3 things that business needs to survive are the exact 3 things that the business does not have. In fact, the reason why the business is in trouble is because these 3 things are lacking. The fact that they probably don't have a very good management team or a very good team that is working on the business. The fact that they are running out of cash, they don't have money. And number 3, they are running out of time. In other words, the money they have is going to finish very soon and they need to turn things around very quickly. Okay, now let me say this to you. If the same people, right, who are within the business were the ones that were there when the business was declining and they didn't do anything to turn it around, you must understand something. And please pay attention to what I'm saying, right? And just think with me for a moment. If the management team that ran the business aground is the same management team that wants to take the business back up, sometimes it doesn't work. In fact, in most of the cases that I've seen, it doesn't work. Why? If the management team knew what they were doing, the business would not have gone down in the first place. The fact that the business went down is proof that there is a possibility that you may need to change the management team. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm the owner of my business. How do I change myself? Do I then carry my business to give somebody else to run for me? No, you don't have to do that. If you are the owner of your business, and fortunately or unfortunately, you were the one in charge when your business went down, what you need to do is to understand that if you are going to help that business get back up again, you must become a different person. What that means is this, right? The same you that ran the business aground must be a different you for that business to go back up. In other words, if you are the owner of your business and your business went down, for that business to come back up, you must become a different person, right? It's like in the Bible, when the Bible talks about Saul, who was going to be made the king of Israel, right? And the Bible says that one of the first things that happened to him was that he got into a company of prophets and he became another person. He had a new mindset, a new way of thinking. He had a new paradigm and a new perspective to the things that he was doing. If you remain with the same old perspective, your business is still going to experience the same thing. And what is the definition of insanity? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So when you are the management and you are working with the same knowledge that you have had before and your business is going down, and you are still working with that knowledge and you think your business will go up, it is very unlikely. So what does that mean and what do you need to do? Number 1, look for a mentor, all right, or an advisor, someone that can work with you hand in hand to ensure that that business is turned around. Number 2, you need to think differently. You need to attend courses. You need to, watch videos. You need to think differently. Because if these things are not in place, I can guarantee you that this business is still not going to survive. It's not a prayer and it's not anything. It's just the way this works. All right. So the second thing that we talked about is money. We're going to talk a lot more about that next week. But today, let me close with management. Everything rises and falls on leadership. If you are the owner of your business and the entrepreneur behind your business, and your business is going down, let's assume you run an events business, and for some reason your event management business is not working, things are going down, and the same you, without learning anything new, is the same person that wants to take that business back up, it's going to be very difficult. Practically impossible. I can tell you that for free. So you need to find an advisor, you need to find a mentor, and find somebody that can help you think differently if that business is going to survive. Hey, I want to say thank you so much for joining me today on Market Faith. If today is your first time joining us on Market Faith, I want to ask you to please do us a favor and hit the like button right now, especially for those of you on Instagram. Can you go ahead and do that? All right. And no, actually, if you're joining us for the first time, you wave at us, right, on Instagram, and then everybody else that is on this broadcast is going to hit the like button, and they're going to, just tell you that they like the fact that you're here, and they like the fact, look at that. That is just for you. That is just for you, to let you know that we welcome you and we thank you so much for joining us for the very first time today on Market Faith broadcast. You are making our day, and you are a big part of our community, and we're so delighted to have you. Hey, don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're getting value out of this, like the video, all right, because it helps the algorithm and it helps us reach other people that are like you, who this content can help. Once again, I want to say a big thank you for joining me today. Next week, we're going to take this a step further, so don't miss it. 6 p.m. Nigerian time, 5 p.m. UK time. I can't remember what the Kenyan time is, but hey, it's going to be great. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. God bless you. I'll see you next time.